City Skylines 2 has been out for almost 2 years now, and I have played it for 1000 hours. Well, almost 1000 hours. It it is closer to 1000 than 900. But you know, keeping this aside, this is going to be a cinematic tour video of all the amazing things that I have made with some little description about each of the builds and what makes them special. This is City Skylines 2 and you're watching how 1000 hours looks like in this game. Cue the music. The very first build we are going to see are these set of mountains that I built way back, which has beautiful lake in between, and then you have multiple rivers coming out from it. I made this completely from scratch by terraforming the land, and this is what basically sparked the fuse in me to do more crazy landscaping builds and also make lots of rivers and lakes and ponds and everything. This is an amusement park that I built completely in vanilla game using a bunch of assets to have some offices, metros, and lots of restaurants and open spaces, Ferris wheel, and even the Notre Dame Cathedral. This is a custom college that I built, and I think my first build where I made something almost one-to-one from real life. Right now, seeing other builds, this isn't that good of a build, but at that time when the game came out, this was a pretty good one. I will tell you that. I think at this point I also started a new city on a custom archipelago haven map, and here I messed around with hang around areas to make some custom functional farms. These came out really well, and you could see the cattle and horses and other animals roaming around in the particular hang around area. And this was, I think, my first peek into something modded with the developer mode in City Skylines 2. Now we come to the Texas cemetery that I built, an old cemetery that has bodies of soldiers and natives who died here. And this is, I think, also the biggest cemetery of Brixton Bay, and it consists of some custom made areas that are basically some outdoor ceremonial areas and everything. And then you have a small pond so people can hang around over there, and then you have the main cemetery which is on a hill, and you have tons and tons of gravestones, so it's pretty big. I remember making these custom mansions. Spent so much time making these, and these actually came out really good. So I took the biggest houses we had back then, which were mainly signature buildings, and I added some additional details that you generally see in like major big mansions. So like swimming pools, or having a separate cattle area, or maybe some sitting area, gazebo, or something like that. This, I believe, was the second build where I made things almost one-to-one to real life. This build was, if I remember correctly, inspired from Red Deer, Canada, and it is basically a small part of the Red Deer, Canada. And I think this turned out really good because we basically did a complete one-to-one in terms of roads and even the buildings. So it was a pretty good build. This is a major education complex that I built. We started with the elementary school and slowly transitioned to high school, and then some outdoor activity areas, and then at last we had the college. So it was pretty good build, and it was a part of like a huge education complex that I was building over here. So it was pretty good. Then we come to a transport hub. This transport hub has a bus terminal, which I think is from modern architecture content creator pack, and then we have railway station and custom tram stations over here with some restaurants and some outdoor area, sitting areas or hang around areas. And this, I think, has a whole one-way lane layout that loops around. Thus it doesn't cause like any too much of traffic problems, so it's just one way, and just people go from one direction and come back from another one. And it also has quite a lot of people traveling here, so you see a lot of public over here. Now we come to my district planning series, where I studied and taught you guys about different layouts and densities and how to make a proper layout, or where to place commercials and parks, or how to choose services. This was the end result of the whole series. I definitely enjoyed it a lot. Also, meantime, I started with making City Skylines 1 interchanges and City Skylines 2, and this was the gyroscope interchange. Pretty crazy and massive at the same time, and it was a blast making this. These three districts were the end result of applying all the knowledge that we gained with district planning series and actually making suburbs out of them. I think right now this is the best suburb that I have ever built, and I'm really proud of this one. For a major park, I also made this custom park that is kind of functional, but also filled it with detailing and sims hanging around in the park. With the new surface and decals and netlines, this park looks really good. I just hope we get functional props so that these custom builds can come to life. This another one of those builds where I created it one-to-one. This is a community center located in Burnaby, Canada. Amazing place with lots of fun activity areas, and detailing this was also quite fun too. The next thing in the line is the storage garages. This was of course built keeping storage wars in mind. It's my favorite shows, and I think I really wanted to add this in the game, and I think this little corner was the best place. Next one is the highway side commercial areas that you usually see in real life. This one was an inspirational build from the Woodlands, Houston. And these types of areas are best to zone around or beside highways, as they not only function as commercial areas for nearby towns but also the highway. We also had this small office plaza for the office complex. This interchange is a 5-way interchange and also my first dedicated interchange, which got me into building more interchanges. Made a whole custom lake for this interchange, and the detailing in and around the interchange was also pretty good. Now we come to a massive forestry industry. This is the old one, which shows trees that were cut here, and this whole land has become barren, and this is the storage and first stage of processing facility. So you have logs that being stored here and cut into planks, which are also being stored over here. Then we come to my favorite build, this abandoned rail yard. This was the very first build that I made when Extra Detailing Tools mod released. It has a fully overgrown rail yard with lots of trees and bushes around, lots of graffitis and posters that are there on sides of the buildings. Now we come to my European city called Benton County. This is a country club with lots of detailing work. We have got a proper entrance and parking lot for people, and some outdoor park for people to hang out, and then we have the swimming pools, tennis courts and basketball courts. This was the rural England build where I made a rural town beside lots of farms and custom allotments for the people living in the town. And hugging this is the abandoned quarry. Quarries can only be used that much till they provide the resources, but after that they are left abandoned. I have done the same and tried to catch that feel and mood of an abandoned quarry. Next to the quarry, we have a smooth transition to a huge district which has a big park in between, dividing the two sides. This was also inspired from a real life place. I don't think there was a lake in between, but this is my addition. After this comes the military base. This was inspired and made one-to-one from Middle Wallop military base. It had a small town beside it, which I believe was Middle Wallop, and then you had this base surrounded by farms. But here, I have restricted it within the boundaries. And lastly, we come to the shipyard. I don't think this was a one-to-one or inspirational build, but more of the need to make a shipyard, and it came out really good. So folks, this is how 1000 hours looks in this game. You can see the steady progress that had been made since the game came out. I hope you enjoyed the cinematic tour video. If you did, then don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new or haven't already, join our Patreon to support the channel like how these gentlemen are doing. I'll catch you guys in the next one, and as always, happy building.